This week's episode's all about choosing a puppy. Lots of clients have been asking me after they get their puppies about the traits their dog might have or how they can help the dog fit their lifestyle. And actually, I think it starts even before then. So the first thing I think is to think about, do you really want a puppy? Puppies chew things, they get you up at night. They can destroy your furniture and they require a lot of time and patience and training. However, I do think having a puppy is a magical thing, but sometimes people actually want an adult dog. They didn't realise what it would be like to have a puppy. So that's the first thing to think about. Another thing to think about is, what sort of dog do I want? What is my lifestyle like? Now, I actually wanted a very different dog to the one I got a year ago. I was going to get a German Shepherd to compete with, but actually when I looked at my lifestyle and how much that's changed over the years, a border collie fit my lifestyle much better because we had the sheep and the land and all of that sort of thing, which has taken me on a different path. So thinking about how you live your life is really important. If you're a runner, if you like to run, you need a dog that's going to be able to do that. Maybe not a dog that is should we say, suitable for less long walks. I won't name any breeds. The other thing to think about is, what was that dog bred for? If you're going for a certain breed, what was its job? Working line dogs are bred, you might read on the internet that it will say that they're trainable, that they're loyal, that they're intelligent, but what does that actually mean? These dogs, they have incredibly high drive. They can be quite sharp. They can have a tendency towards getting anxious, but they also have genetic patterns of behaviour in them. That's what they were bred to do. Take, for example, the working Cocker Spaniel. It's going to want to hunt. It's going to want to go. You need to provide an outlet for that dog. It's going to have high energy, and without the right outlet, it's going to get frustrated, or it's going to go self-employed and find its own fun, which often doesn't sit with what we want. The Border Collie, for example, they have a need to herd. Doesn't mean you have to necessarily herd them. There are other ways. I'll pop a little clip in now to show you another way of engaging their herding instinct. However, you can't suppress that, because if you do suppress that, then the dog's going to get frustrated, and you can see other behaviours like car chasing or herding people and nipping their legs, all sorts of other things progressing. Another example is the working line lab. I mean, they're going to want to carry things, right? They might be a bit more mouthy, but they're also going to have increased drive. They're different to a show lab, who might be slightly more biddable, and might be easier for a pet dog home. And some people say, well, I'll go for a crossbreed. You know, for example, if I take a cockapoo, it'll be okay because I have allergies. Well, there's no guarantee of that because of the way genetics work. So, you know, it's always worth, I think, when you're choosing a dog, it's always worth checking out the breed specifics on the breed club websites rather than just using a search engine and seeing what the general advice is. The breed clubs often know the breeds really, really well. I think researching the behaviours, the temperaments of the breeds is a really good way to pick. Rather than going for aesthetics, you want to be looking for a dog whose behaviour demonstrates that of the dog that you'd want. Again, there's no guarantee of this. However, genetics do breed traits, so that will help you choose. I would also think very hard about where you get your puppy from. I'm not going to say too much on this subject, but I will post a useful link on how you can choose where you get your puppy from, and sort of current legislation around that, so you can do some reading yourself. And then you've also got to consider the temperament of the puppy. Within the litter, there's lots of different characters. There'll be maybe the shy one who might need a lot more patience and maybe a quieter home. There might be the really friendly, excitable one that might need regular training and a home that's willing to commit to that. And then you might also get the more independent one. They're an interest. I've had an independent one before, and they're interesting because you really need to be their friend. You can't bully that dog into doing what you want. You need to work with that dog and build up your reinforcement history. So there are some dogs within the litter that would be better suited to a family home. The more sociable ones would be more likely to suit the family home than the more shy or independent ones. But overall, you know, it's a journey. It's an amazing thing to have a puppy. You're growing the dog that you'll have. Just make sure you do your research, because, you know, a lot of us will only get maybe 1, 2 chances to grow a puppy, and you want to make sure you have a really nice experience for you and the dog, because it can be really sad when it goes wrong. But I hope that's been helpful. Thank you.